Hey there, Kai here. By now, nearly 93 million Americans should have received their first $1,200 stimulus check. And I emphasize the word should, since a lot of you right now either haven't received yours yet or you're looking into it for somebody else who hasn't received it. Now, stimulus checks were designed to do two significant things. One, be additional income to help, stimulate the economy. And two, it was to be a quick infusion of much needed cash to the people who desperately needed it. However, that didn't really work out the way that it was intended to, did it? Well, as our lawmakers debate a second stimulus, we've got financial tech companies on the horizon who are looking to help millions of Americans get future aid more quickly and probably make a slight profit margin on it as well. And that means stepping outside of the traditional banking system and even getting into cryptocurrency. And that's right, you're getting paid in Bitcoin. Totally kidding, you're not. I'm sorry, I lied. But I mean, it's totally in the realm of possibility, just not for this current stimulus package. But let's talk about the future of America's crypto and digital currency and how you can potentially speed up your stimulus payment if you haven't received your check yet. Let's talk about it. Slap hands, bump fists, let's roll. So the Dems and the Reps are battling out over a second stimulus payment as of right now. And long story short, we can agree that there has to be a smoother and faster way of getting money out to the people. Now, some have suggested that the Federal Reserve even create a digital dollar using blockchain or cryptocurrency technology, and then use that as a means of distributing future funds in an instant. Now, that would take some time to create, but we know they're in the works since the US government has vowed to keep up with China and its advancing technology, and they just recently, I think last year, committed to creating a digital yuan to compete directly with the almighty dollar and even perhaps circumnavigating it and become the new standard currency for the world. Now, you can bet that our current president and administration doesn't like the sound of that at all, considering that we're in a trade war with them right now. But if China is anything, they're a country of their word when it comes to outpacing the world, especially when it comes to the United States, which means if they go digital, and you can bet that that's gonna happen soon, we will too. Now, in the meantime, we do have some other options. We've got PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, and newer digital banks such as Simple and Chime, all of which who have helped hundreds of thousands of Americans get their stimulus checks via direct deposit. Now, through the e-commerce payment and banking systems, they can and will provide you routing and account numbers which are needed to accept stimulus checks by direct deposit. This can be extremely helpful for those who don't have or want to use a traditional bank and thus are waiting on a paper check. And if you have a smartphone, you'll be able to set up an account. I personally use the Cash App and you can too. We both get $5 if you use the link down below. It's a really cool platform where you send people money for free and even buy stocks in Bitcoin. I mainly use it to send and receive money from friends and acquaintances. Now, in the upcoming years, we'll be seeing a surge in the financial tech industry, especially with digital banking services. A traditional bank was already slowly becoming obsolete with the internet and smartphones. But now with digital options such as Simple Bank or the Cash App, it has accelerated in these uncertain times. And let's admit it, banks do not have the greatest reputation, especially after the 2008 fiasco. Now, if you're one of the millions who are already fed up with the banking system, don't worry, there will be a disruption soon. Just a few small companies like, Apple, Google, Facebook have already entered that industry within the last few years that are already doing banking and payment systems. Nothing to lose sleep over if you're the CEO of Wells Fargo who's fresh out of a scandal with legal issues with their customers. In the meantime, I'll put a link to the IRS site where you can update or check your information for your first stimulus payment. Just click on the link and go to the site and you'll have the option to either input your information as a non-filer, someone who meets these criteria right here. You're not required to file federal income tax because your income is less than $12,200. You're married and filing jointly, and together your income is less than $24,400. You have no income or you have qualifying children under the age of 17 and you receive SSI or VA benefits. Now, keep this in mind, you must enter all this info by May 5th, which is in just a couple of days. So make sure you get that taken care of. For everyone else, you'll go over here to check your status and update your direct deposit info. So for those who don't have or want to use a traditional bank account, use that Cash App routing and account number in here. So click on Get My Payment. It'll take you to this other page where it'll say you may need your 2019, 2018 tax returns, and data is updated once per day overnight. And this is a big one because I got a lot of questions on this. If you receive SSI or VA benefits, your information is not yet in this database. Hopefully it'll be coming soon. The best thing for you is to go to this other video with the IRS time schedule and compare that to your income to see what week you should be receiving your check. Now, I know a lot of you out there have been getting this here, status not available. And I have too when I search for my grandparents and my parents. It may be you're not eligible, your data isn't in the system yet, or if the system just hasn't been updated, which was the case for me and my family. So when you get to this page and you click here, you have this typical disclaimer where the government can snoop and look up your butt and all that stuff, okay? And enter your information, which I'll censor here for obvious reasons. I'm gonna use my grandma's info, but I've already gone through this already, so I'm not sure if it'll ask for my payment information again. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, my grandma actually prefers a check mailed since she doesn't like banks. And this recently has updated within the last few days from status not available to a May 1st mailing date. So that's some success. So if you're one of the roughly 75 million Americans who still haven't received their first stimulus yet, hang in there. It's coming, it's just that the system is slow and cumbersome. This further proves that the future of our currency and banking is going towards digital and or cryptocurrency. If you had asked me a year ago, I would not believed you. I was actually against cryptocurrency. But with what we're seeing now, I think it's going to be fast-tracked, especially with countries like China who have already started off down that path. Competition is a very strong motivator. In the meantime, just like every generation before, you don't want to be resistant to change, especially change that we or you don't have control over. The sooner we embrace and adapt whatever situation we're thrown in, the sooner we can focus on solutions and start bettering our situation. And I'm not saying that lightly, as over 30 million Americans have filed for unemployment as of this week. But no matter the circumstances, we have two polarizing choices. One, we get pissed, rightfully so for a lot of us, stay focused on the injustice or whatever bad has happened and stew in it. Two, acknowledge it, accept it, and move past it mentally and start focusing on actionable items to make the most of that situation. Adapting and action will always outperform anger and sitting idle, especially in times like right now. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel so I can keep you up to date on everything that's happening with the stimulus plans in this recession, and if you want to take one step further with me, what I'm doing with my money during this time to come out the other side a little wealthier. I was able to come out of the 2008-2009 recession with enough money to quit my day job, and now my goal is to spread the good word and help you do something similar, or perhaps better. I love you all. Drink lots of water. Buy a good filter system like the one I have. Link in the description below. Kai out.